And so you guys will get, and I know Jake, I mean, we're already working together. Janelle, we're working together. So that all of this is going to be available in there. So let's check in. So Janelle, how are you doing? I
I
feel it. So yeah,
I'm doing a lot better.
you're feeling better. Okay.
I went to rap. Well, after I talked to you, I went to rap, and it was so fun. It was just me and one other girl in there, and Will, I broke down. I just
Yeah.
bawled. And the lesson for the day, he said he just picked it up off his desk, was how to handle stress. And
Hmm.
the first line was take a time out.
Hmm.
I took my time out at Turning Point. I did not leave until after 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I talked to different people. I realized I set some boundaries for myself, not
Hmm.
for him. I set some boundaries for myself to
Okay.
not take the choices that he's making personally.
Right.
And that's what I think I was doing. It was breaking my heart and I was taking it personally. And I feel so much
Yay.
better.
I'm
I got
so
home
happy that
and he had me laying on the kitchen counter. The bathroom upstairs was spotless.
girl, that's right. So see, we can all take a thing here of like when somebody has disappointed us. Oh my gosh, Abby, you could totally take this strategy. Janelle made her son clean the bathroom because she was, he's not doing what he said he was going to be doing. And anyway, out of guilt.
Yeah,
But
it was.
this morning when we talked, I was gonna like ask you like about the personally thing. Oh, here's Alyssa about the personally taking things personally, but you figured it out. Like this is
I
really
did.
what I'm here for in your life, all of you here, of like you have all the answers and it's just holding space for that to happen and it happened. You have like, oh, that's just amazing. Like you knew.
Yeah. I had to
Ah,
step. I'm glad I didn't say anything this morning when I was really upset. I got
mhm.
it out. And the more I thought about it and the more input I got, I was like, you know what, Janelle, you're taking it personally. Stop it.
Stop it. Hi,
And
Alyssa.
I feel,
I'm so proud of you.
thank
I
you.
am so proud of you. Okay. Jake, I know you're painting. You're painting.
Yes, I'm
You're a
painting.
working fool. You know that?
Alright. Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep my mind occupied that way.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I love it that you're on here. So, okay, Abby, how was your day?
It's going.
Okay.
It's my night off.
Oh,
Haven't had
okay.
one of
Awesome.
those in a while. Um,
Yeah.
it's going.
Okay. Jake, sorry, I did want to ask you about your boundaries. That's what I meant to ask you. Then Abby, I'll be back with you just a second. But Jake, I know you messaged or in the messenger the two that you said. Hold on, I'm going to remind you the two that you said. That way we can see like how it went. Hold on. Do you remember?
Um, yeah, it was like can't
Hold on.
remember exactly.
I'll tell you.
Um,
Hold on. Okay, you said I will rebut all negative self-talk today. And you said I will stand up to myself for myself.
yes.
Yes. So you feel like
I
you
think
did that.
yeah, I made it purposeful to put that into practice today, and I caught myself talking nasty about myself. And
Okay.
so I reminded myself that those things weren't true.
That's right.
And kind of affirmed a couple of good things about
Awesome.
me. So
What
after,
were what
so
were they? What were the good things?
oh, just that I am love, I am light, I am not these bad things that I was putting through my head,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that I am worthy.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I am worthy. Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Abby, what about you?
What about me? It's good and it's a good day.
It was a good day. What about
Yeah.
boundary? Okay, so I know this morning I did send you. Did I send you the thing of boundaries? Okay.
Yes.
Where was there a specific?
I need to work on what I feel comfortable sharing.
Okay.
I'm one of those, like, if you don't know me, I'll share my whole life story, but if you know me, you won't, like, I won't talk to you. You won't know if I like you or not, is kind of how my husband says it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and then my negative self-talk, I made a joke today and then had to yell at myself right after because you had mentioned reinvent your self-image. It was on a slide. And I
Mhm.
put, yeah, I want to do that because I hate myself.
Oh,
Or
Abby.
I hate who I am is how I said it. And then I was like, oh, no, don't do that.
But you okay,
So it
but
is a
it's
work in
okay.
progress.
It's okay. Like, no, it's okay. We're not gonna judge it. You just said it and it wasn't. So
Yeah.
who is that critic? Did you tell me the name or not yet?
No,
Okay,
I
what are you
don't have
naming
one.
her?
I don't have an, I never thought of naming it, but I've always, what resonated with me separating from my thoughts, which obviously I still have issues doing, was, you're not your thoughts, you're the listener of your thoughts. So if you could hear them, then you're not thinking them. So you could just tell
Ooh,
them not to.
yes.
But I don't ever stick up to them. So I
Okay.
just listen to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Curiously, I think is maybe how it started, but I don't,
Awesome.
my
Okay.
brain finds the evidence and it's hard to tell, oh no, I'm not that way.
So your brain finds the evidence because are you asking it afterwards of saying, so you have the thought of whatever the thought is, a negative thought. Now, Alyssa, I'm going to be talking to you in just a second, so just get ready. If you can talk. Um, so what's a thought that you think? Because what I'm thinking, so when we ask our brain questions is when it goes to look for it. So when we say, so you're thinking, so like I hate myself, or I hate who I am now. Okay, well, why? Or why do I hate? Maybe and remember, you guys, there's a lot of unconscious shit going on too, where we don't even know. And I know you know all about that like underneath the surface and that subconscious mind, which is what in this program we're going to be going into is going to have a lot more of the NLP work, which we're going to do an NLP, which anyway, it's neuro linguistic programming. So it's like the manual of the mind, the subconscious mind. And like with hypnosis and stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, when we ask the mind something, then it goes and looks for it. So if you like, when you catch yourself doing that, you could be like, how can I, where's the doubt in this? Or like, how can I discredit? What's the one thing what's the opposite of no, how am I? How am I a good person? Or how am I as I love myself? Or I don't know, I'll think of a better one, but just finding the opposite, I guess, of whatever that critic is saying. If that makes sense. Kinda.
Makes sense, but I just have hard times putting things into practice sometimes.
Okay, well
Like
that's
I
why,
just
yeah.
walk out of a room after having a conversation. Like I
Okay.
fumble my words. I don't know, just a ton
Yeah.
of things. I'm just like, why do I say that? Why did I keep talking? Why did it come out like that? Or even saying hello. You ever seen those like, oh, thanks for your order? And I'm like, yeah, having, I don't know. I'm just always messing. So I'll walk out just beating
Okay.
myself up over things out of every door or conversation. I have a hard
Okay.
time with that.
It's that inner child too.
It's relatable.
Yeah. It's relatable. Like it's that inner child. It's that wounded inner child that we've done a little bit of work with, right? We can bring her back in to do more of that. But I want you to imagine saying those things to Milo or to your inner child or to your son or to a little kid at school. Okay? So if you just imagine the next time you say that, like, oh my gosh, if I would say that to my daughter, oh my, you know, or whatever, maybe, or however it makes you feel. Have you tried that before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll find something you haven't tried before. Okay. I'm not, you are my biggest, you're my biggest challenge. I mean, not my biggest, but I mean, my favorite, my, you know, I love it. Anyway. Okay. Alyssa, how was your day with boundaries? Did you have a boundary that you were?
Um, so I guess I read that wrong and I answered all the questions that you had put. But
Uh-huh. Oh, for the journaling?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or was that
Okay.
right?
No, that was right. You could do that too.
Okay.
Mhm.
On boundaries, I think I just need to come up with a boundary within myself for what I allow work to make me feel, because
Ooh,
there's been a
okay.
lot of like constant changes, and one of them being that when I got hired, I had like 12 paid holidays,
Okay.
and they took it down to 6 and gave us 4 floating holidays. So in reality, like, I lost 2 holidays,
Yeah.
but that's not the big deal. They had sent out like another massive email, and stated that we needed to be more mindful of using our floating holidays, because if we used a floating holiday the day after Thanksgiving, then we shouldn't use another floating holiday for Christmas Eve. And I was like, I have to go to Tennessee, like my family's there. And they said, well, you don't have to. And like that sent me in a spiral, because like I'm gonna show up for my kids regardless. Like, I missed multiple Christmases, multiple birthdays, like, so I need to work on a boundary within myself on not allowing it to like affect my feelings, I guess, so much, because like I know what I'm gonna do. Like, if I end up losing the job because I show up for my kids, then so be it. Like, I have the support of Dan on that.
Okay.
But I need to allow more ebb and flow. And sidebar, Sarah wanted to know if she could get the Zoom information.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Is she not in the chat here? I'll send it to
I
her
don't think
right
she
now.
is.
Okay.
She's trying to get
Dana?
Zoom figured out.
Okay,
But
hold on. Yes, I want her here.
yeah,
And
she
then
needs to be there.
let's pause for a minute because I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
I mean, not a but like a coaching thingy. Hold on. Where in the world? Where's she at? Do you have on the bottom of your screen, sorry guys, hold. There she is. Okay, hold on. Yeah, get over here. Okay. I sent it to her in Messenger. So, okay, get back to you. All right. So I want to remember when you left Turning Point, and the reason you did, right, was because there wasn't any like growth opportunity, right? That was one of the, like, you had your reasons of why you did, right? And so
Right.
you do know, like, so you go there and you still have like, I get what you mean as far as wanting to be ebb and flow and not allowing it to bother you as much, right? That's not to affect the way that you show up for the rest of the day. Is that kind of what? Okay. So,
Yeah.
but there's a value that's not being like, something's being triggered here of like, wait a minute, I went into this position because it had everything that I want, or, like you even left a job and went into a new one or over there because it had more of what you were looking for. And so now that it's
Right.
like, that's not, it's like, wait a minute, this is so that's even happening, subconsciously of like, okay, this isn't, I thought it was one way, And yeah, so, and just like with Janelle with her thing, like taking it personally, but I think here, I don't think you're taking it personally. It's just more of a like, or what do you think? What do you think is happening here for you?
So for me, like I know the mass email wasn't like anything personal,
Right. That's what, yeah.
but when I shared that I have to go for certain holidays and they're like, well, you don't have to. And I was like,
Right.
my
Yes.
family's in Tennessee. They responded with, well, I have family that lives outside of Lafayette.
What?
I have family that lives 6 hours away, and the most important part of my family is my 2 children.
Yeah, that is not
Like,
okay. So, and that's a value for you. And that might not be a value for the person that's saying it. And this is something I want everybody. This was when I remember the first time this kind of happened, where like, wait a minute, somebody, maybe it's not, family is a value for you. Being a mom, you value your time with your family. They might not have that same value. So now they're projecting, they're basically placing their lack of that value onto you. And so that makes it clear for you anyway. Of like, okay, that is my value. But I think that's how you could even respond to that. Like, I understand maybe it wouldn't be, important for you, and you might, and that, you have family there, but it is important to me, and what, or however you'd want to word that. Um,
yeah,
so is that kind of like the boundary within yourself of being assertive and saying or acknowledging, like, oh, hey, that might be for you.
getting it out in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because, like, the moment I was triggered, like I literally just sent like over and over a message to Sarah, and
Okay.
I said, "Not today, Satan, not today, Satan,"
Okay.
because, like I said earlier this week, like for like 3 weeks, like I was literally a crying mess, and like I don't want to allow something to like I don't like it when I feel so down that I don't feel like I can get out of it.
Okay.
So when I felt triggered like that, I was like, "Oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
You're not touching the peace I finally regained."
Right. Yes. And that's good anger right there. That's not, I don't think that's a bad trigger, to be honest. There's good triggers, there's bad triggers, right? Not all triggers are
Yeah.
bad, right? It's just something was ignited within you of like, I mean, that's and being angry is actually, there can be healthy anger of like, wait a minute, or passionate about. So would you say then it's just you communicating that? Is that what you would like to be, or feel
Yeah.
confident in doing that? And then when things like that happen, knowing how to just release it and just not to stay on it, is that also something else that you, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you said it perfectly, really.
Okay. So yeah, because that's all right. That's a perfect like beginning, which I wish. So where is Sarah? I sent it to her.
Oh, she said she's done with the day.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I
we're gonna be
tried to
doing it.
encourage her to get on here, but she doesn't want to. So,
Okay.
I mean, she does, but she doesn't. She
Yeah.
done got in the bath because she wanted to.
Okay. Yeah. I need to talk to her list privately anyway sometime. So, because I just need to check in with her. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I just have a couple, we're gonna talk about emotions tonight, and how to manage them and how to actually use them to get further, like it more into alignment, right? Instead of taking them personally as like a bad thing, so like as anger being bad or depression being bad, allowing it to show us then where our focus is at. Because when we're depressed, when we get into like a depressive state, it's because we're going over, we're full of resentment, we're going over, what life isn't, and we're stuck in the past, right? And we're just depressed. We have no motivation. I mean, and for me, this is a very personal story because I was in chronic depression for like almost 20 years of my life. And I was on lots of different medicines, but I had huge social anxiety. Like I couldn't talk in front of anybody. Like it was awful. So when I started to like when I noticed, like, oh, wait a minute, once I started to do this work, and I'm gonna show you guys this slide that I found, this training I made, oh my gosh, 3 years ago. And this is another part of documentation of why I tell you guys document and journal your progress, is that you can go back to the basics. And I think, this is what I say a lot. This work doesn't change. Like the foundations of this work with, mindset work and with our feelings and the emotional work, the basics, the foundational elements are all the same, but there's a different way that I started to get into emotional regulation work, and I've never seen it taught the way that I taught it this one time, because, and I can just kind of say this. So when we go to a therapist, right, and we go there to talk about our feelings, right, most of the time, like, yeah, that's what we do. We're talking about our feelings. We're talking about our trauma. That's the space to do that in. For me, I didn't do anything for me of just talking about like my emotion, or, talking about my problems and feeling the emotions. Yes, we have to do that. But the moment I started to learn what an emotion actually was, which is energy in motion, and how it works. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this slide. You're going to understand, and maybe you guys already know this. If you do, if you've seen this before, but then once I learned it this way, that's when I started to get curious, because it was fun. And like the chakras and the energy work, and because it just raises your vibration, like Alyssa, when you were wanting to learn about the chakras, you were like, can you, or I remember when you started to get into it, and it was just curiosity, and it's something, it's fun, and crystals and all those things, and it made it just a little less serious, right? It made it to where it's like, oh, but then to understand exactly, like on an energetic scientific level, what is happening between people with our energy as we're throwing it around everywhere. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and start this slide, because I wasn't going to share it until I talked to you, then Alyssa, and as I talked to you guys. That's why I wanted to talk with you guys, because there's 2 different like trainings that I wanted, but we're going to be doing this again at the first week of September. First week, we're going to be doing these every month till the end of the year. So yeah. Oh, Sarah said, it's been a really bad day. Please come on here. Dang it. It's Sarah. I want to say, okay, I'll just get back with her. Okay. Yeah, dang it. I want her to have a good day. All right. Well, okay. Not to say this would make her have anyway, this would help probably. Okay.
Feel supported.
And feel supported. Yes, supported. And that's the biggest part of this, is right what you just said. Like, it's the support, and like the just, she is amazing, and we need her feeling amazing. Okay, hold on. Where is it at?
Ooh, Coach Hill.
That's the one I was going to show you guys, but now, okay. Because it was like, oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So it's really about, so energy healing is how I, hold on. Oh, present. There we go. All right. So here's how this is the beginning of it all. All right. So this lady who can like relate with her, right? We're like doing laundry, like fuck my life, whatever. I hate this. Okay. So then I started to study how to, and like I said, I made this like 3 years ago, so it's kind of gaudy, but this is like a process. And I've taught this to you guys, mostly all of you, of like how to heal with energy. So we let go so we can relax, right? We ground, we clear and align, we direct and heal, and we protect our energy. Okay, and we repeat this every day. I did this process right here from here down to here. I did it every day for, gosh, like a year and a half, probably. I would do this as specific technique, right? I would relax. So and that, however I could relax. And then I would ground, I would clear by just using my imagination, direct it to my chakras, and then I would shield. And I just did that every day. And what I noticed was that I stopped taking things so personally. I stopped engaging with like shade that was thrown at me. I stopped, not stopped, but I slowly, slowly got to this place where I could maintain a higher vibration amongst difficult people. And another thing, I was able to start to heal regardless of my circumstances. I was able to start to consciously manifest my position at turning point, for example, right? I manifested that because, and not even on purpose at the time, but I just was following what lit me up and what I love. And anytime we're following what excites us or what motivates us or moves us, that is where our soul like wants us to go. That's exactly where we're meant to be all the time. So, when this is how energy, this is just a quick, sorry guys, this thing is like in everybody's way. Oh, is Jake not on here anymore? What happened? Okay, anyway, so energy comes from a lot of different places, right? Our thoughts and ideas. We get source energy from from the heavens. We'd get earth energy. And then we have other people that have energy too, that come into our space. Someone else also has an aura, right? They have an energy field around them. When we have a lot of tasks at work to do, we have all these to-do things to do, and we're going from one thing to the next. Drama and gossip, okay, that's an energy that comes into our field. And what happens? It pokes holes, and we find ourselves talking to people about our drama, which just perpetuates it. When we're living in that, and maybe not drama, but like our problems, and when we've had a bad day. So we've had a bad day or life feels this way, we start to we think about it and we talk about it and we tell. So that is an energy that's staying, it's keeping all of our energy shit all blocked up. And then our to-do list, right? So these are all the different ways we take in energy. So then the first thing is to relax, right? So we think we all here now to do that. I won't go through all of the inside of Relaunch Your Soul Academy. You guys will have an actual training about this to where you will create your own technique that suits you, right? Because the way I did it, or might not be, but the fundamentals of it. And then grounding, okay, but that's not clearing, aligning. Because I do want to read this. So when we have stresses such as emotional shock, worry, physical trauma, or feelings of being spiritually like shortchanged, which Alyssa, didn't you say you had like a spiritual crisis or something? Yeah, or did you say that yesterday? So that's
it really felt a lot like it.
Okay. So that's just interesting so anyway, because I just like haven't heard that in a long time. The ability to pass unwanted energy through energy pathways becomes weaker. It's like clogged arteries. Sometimes blockages form like the buildup of plaque in our arteries. These are due to ignoring signs of physical or emotional distress, hiding emotions, ignoring needs of the self, staying in a harmful mind space. So staying in that critical talk, self-talk. And harboring repressed emotions, right? So fear, shame, doubt, dishonesty, resentment, guilt, shame, all of those things. So when we're repressing those and we're saying, oh, I had a bad day, so I'm just going to go to bed, which is what I do that. I definitely do that. Or I've had a bad day. We don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want to talk to anybody. We go into avoidance. At least that's what I would do. And so knowing that that's how all the energy, that what's happening when somebody is throwing shade at you, which let me go ahead and get to that. I have this right here of how to handle difficult people. But I want to get to, okay, here we go. So directing. So emotions are energy in motion. So what happens when someone directs their negative energy in your direction or throws shade at you, or we have negative self-talk? If we have negative self-talk, that's even causing this to happen. So example, accusations, gossip, judgment, betrayal, dishonesty, manipulating, or telling us, crossing a boundary. Actually, what happened for you today, Alyssa, with your boss or whoever it was, is they crossed an intellectual boundary of yours. Because there's all that we have: physical boundaries, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, but intellectual boundaries are when somebody tells us that our beliefs or our desires or what we're wanting is wrong, or when they judge our beliefs or our values. So that is what type of boundary you set in place, of that intellectual boundary of like allowing them to have their thoughts, allowing other people to have their thoughts and do what they do. However, making it clear as to what your thoughts are and what your stance is on whatever the situation is. So what happens when someone directs their negative energy to us? So when they are yelling at us, if we get into a fight, think about something recently, like in your life that's happened recently, that when you've had this happen, like you get into an argument or somebody does something you don't want them to, or whatever, someone's being rude to you too. It says, by saying yes or grasping onto that energy and allowing it to permeate our energy field, we do that by reacting with an insult, trying to prove our point, spending like energy to try to figure out someone else's intention. I didn't put that on here at the time, but that's another one. When we're like spending so much energy trying to prove our point, venting about it to a friend without focusing on a solution. I'm glad I put that there to discern between, we can vent to a friend, but if we're not focusing on it, finding a solution, we're not doing much of anything, right? Purposefully trying to avoid them, holding grudges. So these are all ways that negative energy comes into our space. So when we grasp onto it, and this is even in our relationships, this is in friendships, anywhere that someone is picking on you or making you feel like you are a problem or you don't do things right or whatever, when we stop we stop reacting to that, and we just allow it to be not about us. And this is what I did. Like, I would literally just stop fighting it. I would surrender to this person that just wanted to tear me down. Or if somebody because there's bullies, we'll just talk about bullies here, people that want to make our day shitty. I don't know. So basically, by engaging with that negative energy, it will continue to affect us in our day, our life, our relationships. And this is how things can spiral into depression, regret, sadness, and anger. And usually more drama follows that. So you see this in somebody's life that always has chaos and drama. Do you guys know somebody like that? Of like, there's always something going on. I mean, and even if you want to observe this, like on Facebook, if you have those friends that are always like, please pray for me, or, oh, this happened, like they are just constantly in the negative. It's because they're allowing that negative, that emotional energy that's coming to them, they're grabbing onto it. And so this is where the discernment, this is where that detanglement starts to happen, when you realize this concept, and you look at it as energy and not as somebody who is personally trying to hurt us, right? It's actually just they're projecting, it's there, and we have a choice. We have a choice in every moment how we're going to respond. So like Alyssa, you were like, I want to respond in a way that's not, so you took a pause, right? You didn't respond yet, or did you? Did you respond yet?
No,
Okay.
no.
So you're waiting, you're pausing, and like, let me come back. Janelle, you did the same thing today. You went to Turning Point, and you knew, like, so you could, you got out of that space, right? And then
Yep.
you were able to get back into alignment, which is what you're doing tonight, Alyssa, right? And then, Abby, I know that you also have done this as well, right? You remove yourself from a situation. So you can, you went to an entire weekend of unplugged, a retreat. So and also when we're in nature, this is why our energy feels better. We're in nature and we're not around all of the lower vibing emotions. And so when we say no, and this is where the boundaries come in, okay? This is why I'm glad I went ahead and taught this, because we've never been taught to form boundaries, but if you think of it as, I need to form a boundary in order to maintain this higher vibration and to continue to show up with love and with openness and curiosity. And so how do I do that? What boundaries do I need to place? And again, it comes down to choice. We either choose to continue to feel like shit and not understand and think that we're not enough, right? Or we choose to say, nope, just like this girl on the screen. It's like, nope, I'm like, and that, Janelle, you're really, I mean, this is what you're focused on right now, is this.
Yep.
And feeling that. And so we can make a decision to say no or refuse to engage. And so this is where that responsibility comes in. We have to take responsibility for how we're responding to everything in our life and how we're replying to people, what we're replying to, and questioning, like, or over explaining. Maybe we're over explaining things. That's also, we're just feeling like we owe somebody. And so we'll do this. You guys already do this with me a lot. You guys are already doing all these steps, right? Have a clear intention, use your visualization, the breath, connecting with the breath, that emotion, that open and balanced heart chakra, like opening up the heart. That's where, like an example the other night, Jess, when we did the attachment thing, or we released the attachments, Jess said that the light couldn't go down past her like brain or her head. And it's because she was blocked off right there at the heart. She couldn't get and then all of a sudden she said it was like a ping pong or whatever, and the light came down. So what chakra work is, and energy work, and this work we do here, is we are working on the deepest level, deeper than just emotions and beliefs, right? We're working on the deepest level possible, that requires faith and trust, and knowing that we might not know exactly what's happening, but we're open to heal, and we know it's coming from love because we're coming from love, right? Like that, we know that it's in a good place. So, and let me see if there was, oh, hold on. Yeah, so we'll do this energy activation ritual here in a second, but does that make sense a little bit more of like how, or what are your thoughts on that, if anybody wants to share? If not, then it's fine. What?
I said, I don't even know how to explain it because, well, you know, the state of mind I was in this morning.
Yes.
And
Right.
I'm glad I took the time out. And now this evening, what I was so upset about isn't even important.
Yeah.
I haven't even brought it up. I checked myself
Yeah.
and set that boundary and did my energy work. And I didn't have to disrupt the whole household with how I was feeling this morning
Well, I
because
mean,
it was crazy.
right. And you also got some lessons and new awareness from that situation, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're in that place. So, Jake, did you hear, I know that you got off for a minute. Did you hear that, as far as like basically emotions are energy in motion? And actually I want to go over that. Energy in motion, and people, when they throw shade at us, when they're like talking shit to us, and when they're not being very nice, like we have the choice to engage or not. And that's how we can create our boundaries. Does that make sense to you? Or do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And that's, I mean, I guess that's kind of what I've been feeling and believing lately is And that's why this self-talk and whatever, it's like, because the negative self-talk is so bad. Because it's, whatever the universe, it recognizes that energy, right? As you speak it about yourself and you think it. And so that's so important for me to work on that, because I don't want to get stuck in this negative energy.
Okay. So that's that's not where you want to be. So I forgot to show you guys how our chakras get unblocked. That was what I wanted to really show you. I hope it's on here. If not, we'll do it another time. But how our chakras get unblocked is focusing on the positive. Okay. That's how it does. Our chakras get blocked by focusing on the negative self-talk. And that's how our energy is blocked, is when where focus goes, energy flows, right? So when we're focused on what's not working, what we have done, what's going wrong, how horrible we are, of course it's gonna stay there, and that's the reality. That's what we think is reality. And so with this being this training here of like why it's so important is that we have so much power over how we feel. Okay, like over what's happening. It's such on a deeper level that we actually can, as long as we like get educated about it, right? We're learning about it right now, and it just takes the personal seriousness away from everything else for a minute. It just allows us to kind of get curious and like, oh, this is another way to look at this. So like how our chakras get blocked is when the river is flowing smoothly, freely the water flows and trees and plants growing healthy. So we can use the metaphor of a river until a boulder is thrown into it, which I'm right there in front of the freaking, here we go. Which can block the flow of water getting to where it was going. And then another boulder and another until the rest of the river dries up and the life it once supported perishes. So you can think of this river with life force energy, and those boulders are negative self-talk, paying attention to getting, toxicity in our relationship, focusing on the negative. So like we have these boulders that stop that life force from running through us like smoothly, and then it starts to dry up. And so when it's flowing smoothly, it can do that. So the water begins to rush too quickly sometimes too. So our chakras can go too fast or be like overactive, or they can be underactive. That's why we do the chakra work, right? Not even knowing half the time. So this was really the right here. So how they get blocked. So like focus on the negative, it gets blocked. And if you focus on the positive, it continues to flow even more. And then that's how our auric field can be like expansive, So, okay, let's go to the emotions really quickly so I can, sorry guys. Do you guys have any questions about that at all? Oh my gosh, what is happening?
Story of my life with computers.
You see how many tabs I have up? Like 500 million, and I'm embarrassed. Hold on.
I had to drive all the way to Kokomo just to get Ivy Tech a copy of my driver's license because I wasn't uploading it properly on my phone.
Yep, that sounds about right. I'm not, yes, that's why I wish that oh, here we go. I wish like we could just like snap our fingers and just be in the same room right now, and then we can just have like
I would love a
teleport.
teleporter.
Yes, teleport.
It'd be rad.
That is exactly what it is. Okay. Where is this is about our words, which I guess we could definitely talk about our words, huh? Where is that? It's really annoying me. I know emotions are like difficult here, and I want to finish this. So Okay, but if I can't, then I guess I can't. But I swear it was just there. Maybe it's right here. Okay, here we go. All right, so is everybody pretty good with knowing where an emotion comes from or how an emotion is created?
Well, mine this morning was created by a thought of what was going on. And that thought wasn't in actual, it wasn't reality, actually. I
Well,
created
yeah, it was your reality in the moment,
it.
but it was a story, right? It was something that you just know you could change it. Now, I do want to say this real quick. Sometimes for me, what I was doing is sometimes I know I was doing this in order to survive. I was changing things to probably, because then it makes it confusing as to what is my truth and what is true then, right? Or does anybody else have that? Like, okay, if this is just a thought and a story that, oh, I can change it. So what is my truth? What is the truth? And it can get a little messy like that. And unless you don't ever, I mean, I just always wondered of like, okay, but that did bother me. And you were disrespected, and
Yeah.
Janelle, as far as he didn't follow or like, he did go behind your back and do something when he could have just told you.
Yeah.
And so, but so I guess the way you were making it mean though, right? Is that a better, like what you were making that mean about things, right?
Basically, I couldn't have cared where he was at and that he's a 40-year-old man and can stay out as late as he wants to.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, in reality, it shouldn't matter to me, even though I don't agree with where he was. It
Right.
really shouldn't matter to me. It's really none of my business.
Right. Okay. And that feels better?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
still don't have to like it, but
Right.
it makes me feel better.
Right.
That's his choice.
Yeah. And so okay. So then that's perfect. So really it's whatever belief feels better for us, whatever helps us to feel a little bit better, that better feeling thought. So our thoughts create our emotions. Sometimes our unconscious mind and senses are picking up cues from our environment that trigger emotions, such as reading a person's body language or facial expression and having an automatic emotional response or sensing danger, because our brain's job is to keep us safe. Right? That's what it's trying to do. It wants to keep us from fear. It wants to keep us in our comfort zone. It wants to keep us so we have this emotional response because your safety was threatened. Like the safety of the story of everything's going very well. He's doing good. He's not going to go back with his toxic wife. And all of that was like out the window and you were just disappointed. And that's a logical emotion. But this is how emotions are created, right? Something happens, we have a thought about it, and then we feel some type of way about it.
Yeah.
So there's two things that make up an emotion. We have the physiological feelings in our body, the sensations, and then we have the emotion, which is the psychological interpretation. It's just a label. Emotions aren't actually guilt isn't actually guilt. It's just it's how we feel. It's the sensations in our body and someone had to create a label and slap a label and call it an emotion. But what they are is energy running through our body, causing a sensation from the thought, right? Energy follows thought. So every time we have a thought, that there's energy that follows it. And if it is negative, that's what's going to be created. If it's positive, that's what's going to be created. So, but the feelings are what get stuck in our body when we don't feel, because we're taking our feelings so personal. So, how we take our power back from our emotions. Okay. So, emotion is energy in motion. It's a verb enticing action. It's not a noun, right? So, an emotion is not a thing. It's It's something that's acting, it's moving. So something happens, an activating event, right? We have a thought about it, we have a perception, we interpret the event with a thought. So like, I'm not good enough, right? And then we have the state. So the body responds to the thought with complex states made up of chemicals and hormone interactions, which Brandy, our conversation earlier, when you were telling me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for her to come to the thing tonight.
Yes, I made it finally.
Okay. I was like, I'm not going to go into all of it on our call earlier, but anyway, so those chemicals and hormone interactions that cause the feelings and sensations, which crying, our stomach hurting, rapid heart rate, you know, our temperature moving. What are some other things that happen when you feel like, if anybody wants to share, of like when you, or your chest gets tight, maybe?
Oh, today mine
I
was
feel it.
definitely crying and heart.
Okay.
My heart was pounding so fast,
Okay.
like it was breaking. Like when you break up with a boyfriend or something. That's how my heart felt today. And I was just blubbering, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Oh yeah.
It
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. And so then we label the emotion, right? So in order to communicate our feelings, we apply meaning to that. This means that we can also create new meanings, right? Emotions are not a part of us. Emotions are not us. They're entities of us. They're allies. You could even think of them as allies. They actually, when you form a relationship with your emotions, your life, that changes everything, because we've been living up until now as our emotions like are attacking and, oh my gosh, like I'm sad, please don't. Like this morning, Janelle, you were like, I feel like I'm gonna cry. And I'm like, then cry it out.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. And you felt, and that released it, right? Then you felt better after you had that cry. So it's just to shift our perception away from an emotion being so part of us, because emotions ran my life. I did not make logical decisions ever until I learned how to do this. It was completely off of, oh, if I felt a connection with this dude, even if he didn't have a job and did drugs and like all the bad things, I'd be like, yes,
Please
bad
love
boy.
me.
What?
Please. I said, oh, you said no job, does drugs. Please love me.
Yes, please
Yep,
love
sign
me.
me up. How do I get that?
Right.
And
That's how I was.
I would have a
That's
good
how I
guy
was.
available, but I didn't want the good guy. You know?
Oh yeah.
Who wants the good guy?
No.
What fun's that?
I don't
They're
know.
not as fun.
They're not as fun. So that is how I lived my life. That's why I know that I'm credible to teach this stuff, because now that I'm actually, I see them differently, just like how the identity of what Abby said earlier of like changing that identity, we also have to change our relationship and our thoughts of what emotions are. So how to take your power back from the emotion is to identify it. You communicate it. The moment that you identify an emotion or feeling you're having, you lessen its charge behind it. You're like, because now it's like, oh, you know that I'm not part of you. Oh, so and you know, we do that by saying, instead of saying I am sad or I am depressed, you say I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel excited. Like even for the positive emotions, we don't want to identify as being happy, right? We feel happy, or happy is a state, I guess, but we feel whatever a positive thing is for that. So does that, you guys resonate with that? Is that good there? Okay.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. So how do we redirect an emotion? We're going to redirect emotions, because this is like the magical part. So you guys know how I've kind of been like guiding you to just be present all week. There's like a purpose for that, of like, just be present, get in the present moment. You don't have to really know what's happening, but just be present here and there. So the first step to redirecting an emotion is notice what's happening, right? You're aware that, okay, I'm going through something. I'm feeling fearful. I'm feeling afraid, or I'm feeling resentful, whatever today, what we talked about this morning about feeling resentful. you just identify it. Okay. And then 2 is you identify what's really happening. This is what you did, Janelle.
You
This
know
is
what? This
exactly
is
what you did. You identify what's really happening, not what your emotion, not what your reactive brain was trying to tell you was happening. Think of a time when you overreacted about something, or, like you really reacted towards something, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like what you said, Janelle, earlier. Oh my gosh. And it was just this. It's because we had that emotional charge behind it. So 2, we identify what's really happening. And this is where journaling, note taking, whatever. And this is what I can help you guys with inside of Relaunch Your Soul Academy, right? And with soul coaching, this is the work we do. And we on the calls whenever you need it. And then 3 is to know what to expect. You can preempt what's going to happen, how your behavior, and so you know what to expect, and then you want to influence a new response to that. It's pretty much you're breaking that pattern. You're breaking the pattern of, and so for example, anybody that's been in addiction, right, or whatever, anyone here, I think we all have, or some sort of something. Our normal pattern was, oh, I feel bad, I'm going to go do drugs. Because
Makes
that's what I
sense.
do. Yeah. So once we know that, like, I know that's a pretty like intense, example, but like we know what we've done. So now we just want to influence, we want to shift the story. And I kind of want to add that in here. Like we want to see what's really happening, reframe what's happening, and then influence a new emotion. And then this is like on when we set an intention in the morning, when you say, I will feel peaceful today. I want to feel peaceful. So what your brain's going to do when you recite that, you set that in the morning, during the day, when stuff happens, you're immediately going to be like, okay, I want to feel peaceful. So how can I do that in this moment? And you'll maybe not all feel peaceful, but you're going to feel a little bit better, because when you are not aware of what's happening, your power is everywhere but with you. It's with the other person. It's with the boss, it's with the kids, right? It's not with you. So knowing how to work with an emotion and process it and transmute it is basically what that is saying. That's what you're doing. All right. So that is all about emotions and kind of how that you do have the power to redirect them. That was the point of that. So now we're going to go back to this energetic activation and do this. And then after that, it won't take very long. This will only take about 5 minutes. And then I will show you guys my program. I have slides. I can kind of show you like what is in it. And all of that. Actually, I think I'm going to do that right now, and then we'll do the energy. Is that okay if I do that? Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm cutting Brussels sprouts right now, so that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt your Brussels sprout. Whatever, cutting up. Okay, let me get this way right here. Off of here. And move you guys over here. Okay. So let's, wherever this goes here. Okay, well, it's not letting me present. Why isn't it letting me? We'll do it this way, I guess. Okay, well, it's not letting me present. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
I don't know
Welcome
what's that?
to your first.
Oh, I have words there. Hold on. I'm going to shut this off.
Nice.
There. Okay. I was like, where'd my voice come from?
Why am I talking to me?
Why is it talking to me? Okay.
Oh no.
All right. So inside of my program, which is just Relaunch Your Soul Academy. So it is on, it's on a portal, and it's for light workers. It's for anybody who feels, everybody on this call, exactly who you are. You're who it's for. It really just came out of all of the everything over the past 5 years of what I've worked on, and now I just can't not do this. Not share it all and do it with you guys. Like, I literally, this lights me up, and this keeps me, I could not imagine not doing this in my life. I would probably die. It'll never go away. And that's also why I created this too, is because people around us don't understand, like, they're not on the same journey. Like, they're not, and none of us, not even us, we're not on the same journey, but I mean, they're not fully always understanding, right? You don't always, can't always just go to your neighbor or someone else and be like, hey, look at these crystals I got. Or,
Right.
hey, let's clear energy, or, yeah. So anyway, I created this space and to organize everything for you guys to work on. So, like, to question beliefs. These are like 5 things that we're going to be doing in the program, and in the 6-week coaching program that's got a bonus for joining right now. So question beliefs, focus on the feeling. So we'll do the feeling work, tap into your intuition. You're going to recognize your soul mission, right? And then you're going to consciously co-create what a life that includes that, right? A life living in your purpose, a life and as your most authentic self and your highest potential. That's where I want to help you guys get to. And this is just kind of like a guide to do that. And so what this is, so it's a 3-month one-on-one soul coaching plus 6-week group coaching calls or program, which we're finishing up the first series that we did. We're actually going back to start on Saturday. So anybody that joins can start this Saturday of going to these calls that are going to be every Saturday. We take 1 Saturday off every 2 weeks, like an integration. Oh, and this is wrong. It's not $1 a month. I have to fix that. But it's actually $333 for you guys right now, or $111 a month. And then it's going to be going up. Well, it's $397 for anybody else, like, that, I guess, watches the replay. Anybody watching the replay, it'll be $397. But if you're here, that's what it is. It's $111 a month. And what it'll do is 3 months, because I can't work with anybody less than 3 months, right? It's just, I could, but like, through my experience, that's where the transfer, that's where, like, that's a good time frame for somebody to really integrate into a new identity and start to show up differently and manifest things, is 3 months. And so there's 6 group coaching calls, 6 one-on-one. So you'll actually get 6 one-on-one. And I have 2, Janelle and Jake, they're my clients right now. They will just start in on the tail end of this. And then, because they've already, like, have their packages, so you guys are good. Okay. Janelle and Jake, just letting you know. That, and then access to the Relaunch Your Soul Academy. There's 50 videos plus, and about to be 20 more. Like, I'm uploading all of that this weekend. Facebook Messenger support, and it's just a community for light workers, and how you can talk, you can make connections. And like, I heard Janelle and Brandy, you guys talking yesterday before I got on here, and how you're like, oh, you do shirts and I do shirts. And that's what it is. Like, I loved hearing that you guys were doing, like, I loved that, because I'm like, yes, it's not like, yeah, I facilitate this space, but you guys are like the ones that make it possible. And so that's there for you. And then I have a soul space toolkit that I'm giving out to everybody, and I'll be mailing you, Brandy, it's a soul like kit, and it has a tray and a journal and all of that. And so this is what this is. So just, take your healing and transformation to the next level and receive custom coaching. So, like, customized to each one of you, because we're all in different, like, it's not a cookie cutter coaching is not a cookie cutter thing, right? You guys each have your own specific strengths and gifts and desires and where you're at in your life experience. And like I told, well, Brandy and I just were on a call and I told her, like, I really want to focus on your stories. Really, that's what I really want to add more into this time, is to focus more on how to take the stuff out of the stories and make them into, because some of you might want to write a book one day, okay? Or whatever. Or you might want to start your own programs like this. You might want to, I think the sky is the limit. And so I just think it requires to be around somebody that's like here to support you. So yeah, coaching and support monthly. You'll have a monthly masterclass for like all of you. So each month we'll have one specific thing that we are doing. That's something that I need to add on the other screen, but it's like just for clients. And that'll just be for as long as you work with me. I'm always going to have this monthly masterclass. And then the portal, I'm also going to be doing a certification in chakra and crystal healing, and then also in my energy method that I've kind of showed you guys, but like where you guys can take it and do it with other people, or you can create, you know, take it and do what you want with it. But it's just a healing modality that that just combining a couple of different things together and then getting a certification always. So that's what I'm looking into right now and how to do that. Or finishing up, sorry, I've had to do that. And then the community. And so if you guys are interested in doing this, it's $333 or $111 a month for anybody that's on here now. And then we can get on a call. We can talk more about this. Okay. And then, and yeah, we can go from there. We're going to be starting the From Wounded to Wild again at the end of September. We're finishing up now, the first one, and then we're going to go on to the next one. And then I want to tell you guys, so everybody that's on here right now and that you guys have been on here, all of you, if you would like this, and not the people I'm already working with. Sorry, Janelle and Jake. I guess we could add these onto yours. You know, Abby, we're definitely, yeah, you definitely, but you get 3 just, you know, coaching calls with me that are consistent. So like once a week, right? And if you're not wanting to go into the program, if you want to, definitely you'll get that anyway. I just want to give you guys 3 one-on-ones, and then a spot for somebody into my program, like a scholarship. So I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. I'm gonna like draw names and stuff. So anyway, so do you guys have any questions about that right now? If
Nope,
not,
I'm already in it.
what?
Don't get anything.
Oh, whatever you do, I promise you will get, you get whatever you
We
want.
get you.
Whatever you love.
Okay. And you guys are like founding members, by the way. Like this is like, you guys are founding members of this, and you guys will always be a founding member. And so like, there's so much that is going to
Yeah, we don't get that, Janelle.
whatever. Yes, you do. Oh my
I can't reach.
What are you doing?
I can't reach on top of the cabinet.
Oh, you're on top of the cabinet?
Well, I was trying to get up there.
Well, don't fall. Okay.
Have a chair.
All right. So let's go ahead and do this energy activation, or we're gonna actually calm down. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to not make it to where let's see here. Where did it go? Yeah, I don't want to make you guys stay up for ever. So go ahead and just close your eyes. We're gonna go ahead and do this wind down, and then we will be done. You guys can get back to your evening. And so go ahead and just close your eyes, get comfortable or sit down. Have your feet on the floor. I really wish I had some music here, but oh well. And just take a deep breath in through your nose. And then out. And then the next one, you just breathe in for 4 seconds. And then exhale for 7 seconds. And really just like really exhaling that negative energy and that breath. And we're just going to set the intention to receive an energetic shift and boost that we need to be our best self, to show up in our day as our best self, or just in this moment as our best self, not even going into the future, or we're just being right here. And just sitting with your spine going up and down, feeling the support underneath you, and doing that body scan, starting at the top of your head, going down your head and your cheeks, your jaw, releasing the tension and the control in your jaw, going down your throat. If you want to stretch or move your neck around. After the day, really just shaking off the negative energy and stretching and allowing your meridians to expand even more. And then going down your stomach, your thighs, your knees, your calves. Just doing that quick body scan. And then breathing into your navel. Just either you can put your hand on your navel or around the solar plexus sacral area. And just breathing in, you can visualize just breathing into that. So you can visualize like a bright yellow light coming actually into your navel into your stomach. And then as you exhale, just allowing it to expand. And then breathing in again. And then exhaling and just allowing that bright yellow light entering your belly and then permeating your entire body. So just each breath that you take, and this is how you can move energy. So just placing your awareness on your stomach and visualizing that yellow color. And when you breathe in, that yellow color gets brighter. And then when you exhale, it continues to move up and through your body, into the cells and the tissues. And just using your intention and your mind's eye, I want you to see and feel this yellow light as a powerful life force energy. And just continuing to move it into your body. So breathing in, it gets brighter. And then exhale, it grows even more in your body. So up into your arms, your shoulders, down your arms, down the lower half of your body, just where you are completely encompassed and engulfed in this yellow, this high vibrational solar plexus light. Through your legs, down your left or your right leg, down your left leg, back up into your thighs, your belly, up into your chest, your arms, your shoulders, your throat, your face, and now it just goes up into your head. And as you breathe in this vibrant life force energy, envision it stimulating every cell, every bone, every muscle and tissue on your body. And visualize this life force coursing through your body and through your meridians. And just using your imagination. And if you aren't able to use your imagination or see anything happening right now, it's totally normal and it's fine. Just continue to breathe, come back to your breath and connect with your breath. And then just allowing that energy to sit there and to stimulate that healing on that physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And then breathing in and having your whole body light up. And when you exhale, it expands out to your auric field. And then just visualizing cutting those cords, cutting the attachments, but also, and this time we're going to nurture the spiritual cords we have with one another. And the spiritual cords we have with other people who allow us or help us, they support us. They are good to be around. They're healthy for us. And it could even be a job, a person, a space, even somewhere that you like to go, that you have an energetic cord to. And I want you to just imagine flushing water through that cord. And you might see like mud. It could be mud where just anything that's uplifted you. And you're pushing out all the negative energy and the energetic gunk and the dirt. And you're making it crystal clear in order for it to maintain. And you can even set the intention of, I'm nurturing the cords to my loved ones, or I'm nurturing the cords to my best friend or my friendships. I'm nurturing the cords to my goals. Or you're nurturing the cords to your identity, the one you're evolving into. And then just visualizing that. And now imagine in your body of how it would feel to feel uplifted and vibrant and ready to face the day or the evening that we're about to go into with this place of calm and presence and peace. And give thanks to this vibrant life force energy that you can always tap into and utilize. Now take a deep breath in, and we're just going to kind of seal all of this in, calling it back. So take a deep breath. And then whenever you're ready, after you've taken a couple inhales and exhales, and just start to come back into the space. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And open your eyes. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight. And if you would like, if you want to have more questions about or have any more questions about the program, I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow and fix my slide. And I'm going to be doing this inside of the group. So do you guys have any questions, or how did that feel? How do you guys feel now?
I feel much
very
better.
lighter.
Okay. Feel lighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You did it. I just guided it, but you guys do it. Alyssa, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say it made me feel warm and tingly.
Yeah.
Yes, it did
Yeah.
me too.
Like my ring normally like spins a million circles around because I lost weight, but like it got snug. Like
It did.
my body was like pumping blood.
Yeah, and you were sitting. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Like, yeah, and you guys can tap into that anytime. So you can, like, it's just the life force energy, right? Or it's love, or it's whatever it is for you. So, okay, so good. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And I definitely do. All the time. Jake, I'll see you tomorrow, right? Are we doing it tomorrow at 2?
Yep.
Our call?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
Is
All
it just
right.
a call over a call, you said? Is
No,
it
you can come up to my office.
okay.
Okay.
All
All right.
Have a good night.
Yes, you guys have a good night too, okay? I'll see you.
You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.